Good evening, beautiful ladies. I'll just give everyone a moment or so to jump on. As you start to arrive, please say hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I'm so excited to run this session. Hi, Anya. Hi, Cass. Hey, Janelle. Hey, Jules. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Beautiful, beautiful ladies. Hey, Em. Hello. As you log on, please say hello. Let everyone know where you are tuning in from. I know we've got many beautiful ladies from all over. Hey, Cass. Hey, Kim. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You would have seen that I've uploaded a document that I've put together for tonight's training session. So that's in the sisterhood group as well. So just take a moment now to grab yourself a cup of tea like I have and download that document from the group. Beautiful. Got a couple of Melbournes, Queensland. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I'm going to dive straight in because there's a fair bit that I'm keen to get through. So as I mentioned, I have uploaded a document in the Honor Self Sisterhood group, which I'm going to be using as a bit of a guide for this evening's session. Now, I know many of us have been running around all day long. So I do, in the spirit of this being all about mindfulness, I would like everyone just to take a moment to put everything down. If you've got a notepad in your hand, if you've got your phone in your hand, just make sure you can hear me, but put everything down. And I just want you to take a moment to close your eyes. And I just want you to start by taking a couple of deep breaths. And I want you to breathe all the way down into your tummy. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And with each breath, I just want you to feel the tension subside from your forehead, your shoulders, and your neck. And you might start to count to 3, breathing in for the count of 3, and exhaling for the count of 3. Just in your own time, allowing all the oxygen to reach all of those beautiful cells in your entire body. Knowing that you are taking this time and this moment for you, this sacred space that is allowing you to connect and tune in and learn some wonderful nuggets of wisdom this evening. So with that, just keep breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Feeling all of this tension, all of that stress, that angst that you might be carrying around with you. And just take this moment to breathe. This simple act of nourishment and love. and rejuvenation. And with that, take 2 final deep breaths all the way down to your stomach. And I want you to sigh out on the last one. Just sigh it all out with your exhale, breathing in and breathing out. And when you're ready, open those papers and come back to the room. And for those ladies who have joined, Vanessa, Bree, Philippa, I hope you're all well. Let me know how that was for you. I think it's important that we start with our own meditation, because as I'm about to explain, it really starts with all of us as adults, being the role models for our children, our grandchildren, nieces, nephews, neighbours' kids, whoever the little people are that you hang out with every single day and who you'd like to share this practice with. So, as many of you know, I'm a mindset coach, I'm a hypnotherapist, and I'm also a meditation teacher. It took me a long time to get into my own practice of meditation. The idea of sitting still in silence with my thoughts really did terrify me for a long time. And I happened to get into it via yoga. You know, at the end of the class where everyone lies down, and the first few times, as I said, I really didn't enjoy it all. And then I started to practice it more and more, and something started to happen. Oh, I didn't, Jules, you can hear Frankie. I have got her here. Can you see her? She's so funny. She really is. As soon as I start meditating, if I'm on the floor, she'll come and join me. Sorry, I didn't think you guys could all hear that through my ears. Anyway, so as I mentioned, I started to get into the practice more and more because I found that I just started feeling so much calmer. I was like a different person after walking out of the class, and it wasn't just from stretching. I knew it had to do with taking that time to tune in and really connect to myself. So I started practicing using apps and doing a lot of guided meditation and attending classes. And then I wanted to take my practice even further, and I wanted to be able to share it with others. So I did my teacher training a couple of years ago. And I started teaching in preschools just by chance about 10 months ago or so. A girlfriend's sister worked at a daycare, and they were looking at having someone come in and teach this practice. And I'd never really thought about teaching mindfulness to young people. I'm so passionate about sharing it with women. And as you know, a lot of the women that I support, you know, experience anxiety, and I've found it's been such a great tool for that. So I had a good chat to a lot of the women that were working at these daycares, and they were explaining that a lot of these 4 and 5-year-olds are experiencing anxiety, which I couldn't believe, to be honest. I thought, how is this possible? But if you really think about it, we're a product of our home environment, and if that energy is off, if that's, you know, if mum and dad or grandparents or carers or even school teachers, if they're overwhelmed and they're stressed out, then these little people, they just suck up that energy, right? So they just download all of that, and they feel and they take that on. So I've really enjoyed taking this practice into a lot of the preschools. And what I wanted to share with all of you tonight is some of the tools that I've found have worked really, really well. So I would love everyone to share who are the little people in your world, and how old are they? They might be even bigger people. You might have teenagers, you know, I know we said children, but we're all, we all have an inner child. So it may well be that you are here for yourself, or that you would like to share this practice with your grandkids or your little people, your children. Please share now. It would be great to just get a bit of an insight into. Okay, beautiful. Austin and Hunter, beautiful names, Anya. Great, your two little people. And I'll just give everyone a moment to share who it is in their world that they would love to teach this tool to. Who do you believe could really benefit? And just a reminder that I have uploaded a document again. If you've just logged on or you're watching the replay, I have uploaded a document that I'm going to talk through this evening. So to now, you've got 5 beautiful grandchildren, 7, 4, 2, and 1. Hello, Kalani. How are you, beautiful? Julie, my daughter Arlo, 4 years old. She's listening intently now. Beautiful. Cass, you've got Lincoln 8, Cam 6. Kalani, I know you've got a few beautiful big and little people. So welcome, welcome. What I would like you to do now is I'd just like you to pull up that document that I've put together. So Mindfulness for Children is the first page. And I wanted to keep it short and sweet. It now is a few pages. And we'll just head to the second page. So there's obviously, we all know that meditation is good for us. We all know that we should be doing it. So I've just listed some of the benefits there. Obviously improve concentration, stress reduction. Now that's a really big one. As I said, our little people download all the energy from the people around them, the adults too. Increased empathy and understanding, better mood, improved sleep. It can certainly help with sleep, particularly getting to sleep. More compassion, better self-awareness, decreased depression and anxiety, feelings of overwhelm, overall sense of well-being, a deeper connection to nature, particularly if you practice some of these skills outside, clearer thinking, loving kindness, and seeing the beauty in others. So just moving on to the next page. Before we dive in, I just want to make the point that mindfulness is about connecting to the present moment. So our breath ultimately helps us do that. So think of the breath as being the anchor in every single mindfulness activity. So if you remember that, you can't go wrong. So just finding opportunities to help your little ones engage in their breath. Now, I've got some activities here that will help. Different games and activities that you can play with your little ones. But ultimately, if you're having them anchor into their breath, putting their hand on their heart, putting their hand on their belly, and having them understand that by taking deep, slow breaths, that is giving them loving, kind, balanced energy. So looking at the document now, before introducing mindfulness into your home, or it may well be that you've already started introducing some of these concepts, it's really important to have your own mini practice. If your little people are seeing this as something that you do for 5 minutes each day or 10 minutes, then it's about normalizing this practice as opposed to, attempting to introduce some of these concepts that they've never seen or never heard of. So having a special room or space in your house, whether it's a certain chair or a sunroom or a study, somewhere that can be your special place to take some nice calming breaths together, to lie down and play some music. It might be their bedroom, and it's about consistently applying it at a certain time of day. So it may well be before they go to sleep, right? Or in the afternoons after playtime, before they're about to nap, just incorporating it for 5 or 10 minutes, whatever that looks like, generally at the same time every single day. So you might choose, and I've seen a lot of other adults do this, purchasing a special meditation teddy or blanket or cushion, something that, represents that this is our meditation time. This is what we pull out, or this is what we meditate or do some breathing activities with. So examples of playing soft music, as I said, before nap time or bedtime, and reading different stories to introduce the importance of breathing, what mindfulness is, and also different emotions. And with that, the books that I've taken into the preschools, I found this amazing woman. Her name's Shona Innes. She's a child, she's a psychologist, and she's written all these children's books. There's a heap of them, as you can see here. And one of them that she's read is actually called Your Mind is Just Like a Garden. And it's a really beautiful book talking about how our minds, because it's something that, you may well want to describe and introduce and teach, our mind is just like a garden that needs nurturing, it needs watering, it needs love and tender care, and, it needs water and sunlight, all those sorts of things. So I've popped her link in the resources section of this document down below. She's written one all about anger. So anger is like armor. She's written one about worries. Worries are like clouds. And another one, you are like you. She's also written one about families and diverse and different layouts of families. So check out her link. She's amazing, and her books are really, really beautifully written. And it's a way to introduce a lot of those more difficult emotions, and again, normalize them and talk about, when they feel angry or when they feel worried, or what to do when they feel stressed. And again, there's a reoccurring theme of the breath being that anchor. We can always stop, take a moment and take a nice deep breath. Any questions that you have, please pop them in the comment box on the side. And we'll get to those. So explaining how the mind works. So another concept of explaining that is making a mind jar. Again, this is in the resources section, getting an empty jar. This is a kind of arts and craft activity you can do together. Filling it with glitter and water, shaking it up, and there are some steps there in the links describing, this is what your mind is like. Often we've got different thoughts that are arising, but when we take a moment of stillness, you can see that everything calms and relaxes ultimately. So thinking of activities that use different senses, because again, that comes back to anchoring the breath. Mindfulness is about being in the present moment. So what are ways that you can anchor your little one into the present moment? And that can be encouraging them to engage their senses, such as hearing, walking outside. Can you hear the birds? What can you hear now? Tasting. You might do some cooking with them, and they can, baking, they can feel all the ingredients with their hands and roll up the cookie dough and taste it. What does it taste like? How does it touch? How does it feel? So cooking, playing I Spy, gardening, those are other things that you can do on the spot. So now we get to the activities, many of which I incorporate into my sessions. And there are descriptions of each activity here. So the first one is around bloom breath. So that's really simple. Little ones and they can do this lying down before they go to sleep or before nap time, or if you're just having a quiet moment lying in the sun in the afternoon. They can put their hands on their belly or one hand on their heart, and they can feel their heart rate slowing and feel their tummy moving up and down with each breath in and each breath out. Deep breathing with the stuffed animals is another great one. Grab a toy of theirs, whack it on their tummy. Again, if they're lying down, they can just see that their breath is able to move their tummy up and down. Depending on how big the breath is, they can obviously, see the difference between taking a small breath and taking a larger breath. So pinwheel. There are some really awesome pinwheels that you can get to help encourage breathing. I happen to get these ones here. They've got a wooden stem, wooden handle. And again, that's just encouraging little ones to use their breath to move the windmill. In the resources section, I have included an activity that you can download where you can make your own windmills just using paper. So you can print off the stencil and cut it out. But these are just found in art and craft shops. They're about $8, $10 a pop. And again, they're pretty and they're fun, and little ones and bigger ones love them. So check them out. I have got a link to those. The next activity was around a safari. So particularly kids, around, 5, 6, 7, 8, there's that sense of wonder when you go outside and you go on a bit of an excursion or do what's called an outside safari. And that's really encouraging them, again, to use all their senses. So their sight, their hearing, their touch. What is it that you can see outside? What are the bugs on the ground? What are the birds? And allowing them to engage in their senses. Creating a gratitude jar. Now, this is more about compassion and gratitude and that sense of empathy, and teaching little ones that. I mean, this is a concept that I encourage, my adult clients to do as well. And this is something that can be really beautiful for you to do as an ongoing activity with your little one or little person. And that's about writing something that you're grateful for. And maybe it's once a week, maybe it's, every couple of days. What's something that you're grateful for? What happened at school? What did you enjoy about your weekend? What have you loved about today? And pop it in a jar, whether it's in the kitchen or somewhere they can see it. And the idea is at the end of the month, or maybe when they're feeling a little bit blue or a little bit down, they can, reach in and you can read it out to them, or you can read it together. And again, it's that sense of empathy and leaning into the joy of what's going on, particularly when they're feeling a little bit low. So body scan is another really popular one. So it's really just about encouraging your yoga person to lie on their back and to tense up all of their muscles. So first of all, squeeze your hands really, really, really tight, and then let them go. And let them relax. Squeeze your toes really, really tight, and then let them go. Squeeze your eyes really, really tight, and that's something that can help them kind of deepen the relaxation in their bodies. So I am fully aware I'm going quite fast here. Hey, beautiful Kate, Deb, Sarah, hope you're all doing really, really well. As I said, if you've got any questions, if anything's arising, if you've got something specific with your younger one that you would like to ask a question about or chat about, feel free to always send me a private message, or you're welcome to ask me a question here as part of this tonight. I have included a few resources. As I said, I didn't want this to be overwhelming. I just want you, particularly if you haven't started, introducing mindfulness into the home, I just wanted to give you a couple of easy, straightforward tools that you can start implementing on a consistent basis. So as I mentioned, the Big Hug books by Shona Innes, they're these ones and they're awesome. There's another great book on Amazon about silencing, leaning into the stillness, leaning into the silent moments. So the link is there. Making your own mind jar. Again, that's another beautiful activity you can do. The wooden handle pinwheel spinners. There's a link to those. As I said, they're found on eBay and also art and craft shops. So have a look online for those. You can also make your own. A lot of the meditation music that I use, I just search for children mindfulness or children yoga playlists on Spotify. They've got some really great ones on there as well. And then at the end of every session that I do, I also do mindful coloring in. And, children these days, there's so many things going on, and often their agendas are so packed. Just a moment of putting some calming music on and doing some coloring in is just a really gentle way for them to lean into stillness, for them to have a calm moment, and even for them to talk. Often little ones open up a lot, even about some of the more difficult stuff, if they're not actually looking at you directly and they're looking down. So that's another beautiful thing to do as well. So Danelle, you said I'd like that for myself. And a lot of these activities you can be doing yourself as well. I encourage you to do them. And it might be that you invite your little person to join you and you do it together. Another beautiful thing to do. Now, hey, Kate, how are you, gorgeous? Does anyone have any questions? Have you found this helpful? Would you like to know more? Is there anything specific that I haven't yet covered? Please feel free to drop a question in now, just while we've got the last couple of minutes, and then I'm going to wrap this up and allow you to all go back to your beautiful, beautiful evenings. So I'll just give you all a moment. If there's nothing, then just let me know if you enjoyed it. And again, if there are any other trainings that you want me to cover, I am more than happy to do a training specifically on something that you're experiencing challenges with, whether it's anxiety or maybe relationships or health, routines, self-care practices. Just have a think while I've got you here, if there's anything you'd like me to talk. And again, it can be anonymous. I can just make up a training and schedule something in. I'm not going to be here calling you out specifically. Remember that what you are experiencing challenges with, there's most likely someone else in this beautiful community that is struggling with that as well. So you really are serving the wider group by asking for some support. Jules, great session. Anya, great information, so grateful. Okay, beautiful ladies. Well, if there is nothing else, as I said, feel free to message me at any time. More than happy to answer your questions and support you where I can, or even, recommend you speak to another specialist in that field, or whatever it is that that you need. I've got a really beautiful network of health professionals. So with that, Danelle, Pearl, great. I'm going to involve my little people more. And that's what it's about. It's about fun, right? Having a good time together, bonding, finding simple pleasures, simple moments. And your energy is what has such a great impact on the people in your world. So remember, take care of you. Do things that have you filling up your own cup, because the little people in your world will really notice that calm, loving, centered, grounded energy that comes from you when you are in that state. So thank you all so much, beautiful ladies. And I will talk to you very, very soon. enjoy the resources, watch the replay again if you like, share it with your mates. And again, I'm always here to support you. So sending you all a ton of love. Thank you so much again for joining me, and I will see your beautiful faces very soon. Good night.